Good day, everyone, and I hope that you are just as excited as I am because today we are going on air for the first episode of Speak Out 2021. So I am your host, Aki Malabanan from 4BSME.
And I am Nicole Liwag from 3BS Psychology.
And we are now live on Ateneo Speed's social media pages. So before we start, let's take this time to get comfortable right now. As of today, we are excited to have a very interesting and engaging discussion with our guest speakers with us here today. Everyone was able to get comfortable, and now it's time for us to give a bit of an introduction to Speak Out 2021. So Speak Out 2021 is a podcast series that delves into the stories and experiences of the guest speakers. The project aims to embody the value of inclusivity and become an avenue for different stakeholders to have genuine discussions about issues in the sector.
For today's episode, the theme highlights the different stories of family members of PWDs. Here, we learn more about their experiences as a caregiver, as well as what helped them become support systems for their relatives. Given that, let's welcome our speakers for today. Hello, it's nice to meet you all. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today. Now, I would just like to remind everyone that this roundtable discussion is a safe space, so make sure to share only what you're comfortable sharing. We also encourage you to keep your mics unmuted if possible so that we can have a free-flowing discussion. You can feel free to comment.
All right. So with that in mind, would it be all right to ask for each of the speakers to introduce themselves a bit to everyone? So it can be anything you want to say about yourself, any fun facts? So,
ako si Lynn Sabon from San Pedro, Laguna. Pero dati nakatira kami sa Muntinlupa. So doon lumaki yung sister kong PWD. Inalagaan namin siya na as normal, na hindi namin siya tinreat na PWD siya. She's 62 years old. Marunong siyang marunong siya sa mga gawaing bahay at marunong siyang makisalamuha sa katao at makipag-mingle sa mga kalaro niya sa paligid namin.
Hello, can I be heard? Hello, I'm Abby. You may call me Abby. I'm from 3BS Environmental Science and I'm a SPEPL. And the fun fact about me, I don't like ketchup. And as for my relative, PWD relative, I have a younger brother with high functioning autism and he has a difficulty in social life. Thank you so much. It was great meeting everyone. So now, pupunta naman tayo sa susunod na parte ng discussion. So kung komportable lang po kayo, pwede niyo po bang ibahagi ang kwento ng inyong pamilya?
Kami ay lumaki sa Bureau of Prison. Doon kami namalagi bago kami lumipat dito sa San Pedro. Kasama ko yung mga magulang ko, mga kapatid ko. Lahat kami, sinusuportahan namin yung kapatid namin PWD na hindi siya mabaliwala. Lagi namin siyang kasama kung saan kami pupunta, mag-attend kami ng mga occasion, hindi namin siya pinababayaan. At lagi namin siyang pinapasyal sa mga kuneta ng bata siya, pinababayaan namin siya maglaro doon. At tinitignan namin kung kaya niyang mag-isa at mag-isang makipaglaro dun sa mga relatives namin na kasama namin kasi nagbabanding kami doon. At pagka nagsawa na siya, bumabalik siya sa amin, tinitignan namin kung mapupuntahan niya pa kami kung saan kami naka-stay. Siya naman, hindi naman siya yung bang malikot na bata, marunong siyang makipag-usap sa mga kamag-anak namin at sa mga kaibigan namin. Kahit na hindi siya masyadong yung pagsasalita niya, hindi masyadong maayos. Yung bang, siyempre, bata pa siya noon. Pero nakakaintindi rin siya kung ano yung mga ginagawa niya.
Okay. So, para sa akin naman, as for my family dynamics, um, for us, we're a family of five. I have a younger brother, an older sister, and then a mom and a dad. And for us naman, we only knew about my brother's condition like very recently, only in late 2019. And when he was born kasi, that's when we knew that he had like difficulty in socializing. Like hindi siya nakakapansin ng maayos ang mga social cues. So we just thought that he had speech delay. But ayun, when 2019 came, after getting some tests, yeah, he had high functioning autism. And yeah, and then we live in Antipolo. That's where he grew up with nice neighbors. So even though he has like a difficulty in socializing, he has a really nice group of friends. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay. So with that, you guys mentioned din kanina na kaya nila mag-isa, they have their own group of friends, even though they had difficulty even with socializing. Pero at home naman, did you guys have any adjustments that you did at home, or meron ba kayong ginawa differently at home for them?
Ang kapatid ko naman, tinuturuan namin siyang magluto at maglinis ng bahay. Kahit na papaano, alam niyang kahit wala kami minsan, ang kasama niya lang yung mother ko, nakakapagluto siya para sa kanilang dalawa. Kasi wala kami, nasa trabaho kami. Tapos pagka ayaw niyang palabahan, kasi tinuruan namin siya maglaba. Ayaw niyang palabahan yung damit niya sa amin. Pero pag alam namin hindi maayos yung inuulit namin para mas maganda yung damit niya. Marunong din siya mamalansya at maglinis ng bahay. Hindi siya pabigat sa amin kasi nakikita niya yung mga ginagawa namin sa loob ng pamamahay namin.
Salamat po.
Alright. So, para sa akin naman, I think this pamilya Spepos know about this. Pero ang dami talaga naming adjustments at home, especially this quarantine. Kagaya ni Lynn, marami kaming bagong tinuro sa kanya since all the time we're just at home. So, yeah, we had to teach him like basic house chores, which I think he's doing very well naman. But yeah, and this quarantine, of course, he had online school. And after a few months, we realized that it wasn't for him. Like every time, it's really sad because he has a hard time like understanding social cues. So whenever he would ask questions, tuloy-tuloy lang siya. Like he would just keep on asking and asking. And then eventually the teacher has to mute him, which is very sad, but it has to be done because they're in a class. So ayun, and then he would get very sad because he's not meeting anyone, like he doesn't get to play with his friends and everything. So ayun, because of that, he became aggressive during quarantine. Our huge adjustment is that my mom retired early this year. So she's able to give him more attention, more time, cater to his needs. Like whenever she would cook lunch, it's according to what he wants, how he wants it to be. Ayun. And then, yeah, aside from my mom retiring, for me personally, I also extended to 5 years. Partly because I don't want to be super into academics. So at least I have time for him at home and at night. So yeah. And then he also has occupational therapy at home online, which is kind of sad also because he prefers talaga on-site. So yeah, and then right now, my mom also is the one teaching him because he's in homeschool right now. So at least it's according to his pace. So yes, that's all. Thank you so much for sharing about the adjustments that you made at home. So, given this, were there any resources that helped you both better understand the needs of your relatives? Or meron po ba kayong mga alam na lugar o pasilidad na nakatulong sa pag-uunawa ng mga pangangailangan ng mga inyong family member?
Minsan nag-a-attend kami ng mga activities ng member kasi kami ng Down Syndrome of the Philippines. Nag-a-attend kami doon sa Makati. Nagjo-join kami sa mga performance ng mga batang PWD. Ang kapatid ko naman kasi, siya ay yung bang aggressive para mag-join sa, let's say, yung mga dancing, kumakanta siya, kahit na hindi masyadong maano yung kanyang boses. At saka, gustong-gusto niyang nakakasama niya yung mga katulad niya. Pero, hindi namin siya inaano na PWD siya. Talagang tinitreat namin siya as normal. Kaya sa lahat ng mga activities namin, member din kami ng AAPPI dito sa Laguna. Meron din kami mga activities. Tinuturuan sila mag-bowling, mag-badminton. Kaya marami kami activities na ina-attend. Tsaka yung aming priest sa church, rin sila, tinuturuan din sila. Nagkakaroon din sila ng mga socializing sa simbahan, kasama nila rin yung katulad nila.
So, para sa akin naman, nakarelate ako kay Lynn sa badminton. Kasi kanina lang, nag-badminton kami. So, yeah. Super important. Like, very active activities. Something that would make him move. Kasi usually at home, nasa Minecraft lang siya on his laptop all the time, 24/7. So yun, activities like badminton or sports, very important. And then other resources, yeah, for me, speed. Speed naman talaga, because as I mentioned, we only learned about his condition very recently, and then quarantine happened, so we didn't really get to have like an actual session to learn more about his condition. So when I joined Speed, I learned so much more, and especially support groups like Spamilia, very important because you get to hear testimonies from other people who are experiencing the same situation as you are. And then, also my sister, she has a thesis on special education for children. And again, that's where she got to talk to other people like teachers, SPED teachers, other people with PWD relatives. So that was very helpful also. And then as for like the more technical side, my mom also goes to online seminars on autism. Like grabe, sobrang helpful yun. Alongside, I forgot the name of the YouTuber. I think it was Candy Pangidinan. But yeah, my mom watches them. Yeah, since she gets to relate. And then also another resource is definitely a doctor. So like a psychiatrist.
Right. Yeah, that's great to hear na even the activities that you're doing before the pandemic, kaya pa rin siya gawin during the pandemic. Like nakakahanap pa rin tayo ng ways to be able to do those activities then with them, and it's very accessible for everyone as well. So yes, thank you so much for sharing again. And moving forward, how do you, for you naman personally, for each of you, how do you support your sisters, your brother, paano niyo sila sinusuportahan sa mga pangailangan nila araw-araw o yun?
At sinusuportahan ko yung kapatid ko sa kanyang mga pangangailangan. Tulad ng gusto niyang meron siyang pinabibili sa akin na gustong-gusto niya. Minsan sabihin sa akin, bilang ko siya ng handbag para meron siyang paglagyan ng kanyang mga wallet at saka minsan may mga pencil siyang pinabibili sa akin. Nagsusulat din siya sa mga mga notebooks, kumbaga sa anong gusto niya ring, pag nakikita niya yung mga apo na nasa bahay na nagsusulat, nag-aaral, sumasabay din siya. Kaya kung ano man yung gusto niya, bilhan ko siya ng crayons, ng binibigay ko lahat sa kanya. Para hindi siya ma-bored ba. At meron siyang, ano tawag dito, meron siyang pinagkakaabalahan na hindi siya ganun na lang ang kanyang minsan na-i-stop siya pag wala siyang ginagawa. Pag tapos na siya sa magluto, minsan nagluluto siya. Pag natapos siya, gusto niya meron pa siyang gagawin. Kaya lahat ng gusto niyang mga kailangan niya, binibigay ko. Hindi ko siya pinahihindian.
So ito naman po pala, kapatid niyo po sa inyo.
Kahit na 62 years old na siya, siyempre ang isip niya hindi tulad natin. Kaya lang, ginagawa namin siyang normal. Para hindi siya, ano ba, yung bang, lumayo sa amin ba? Lagi namin siyang, mahal namin kasi siya, hindi namin siya talaga, tinuturing na ganun siya, ganun yung kanyang, kanyang, ano ba yan, yung ginagawa niya na hindi siya yung katulad natin na parang isip bata, ganun sila kasi. Pero pag sinabihan mo sila, sumusunod naman siya. Hindi naman siya nagtatantrum. Basta kung may gusto siya, pinababayaan na lang namin siya para hindi ba magalit ba. Kasi minsan gagalit din sila pag hindi mo sila pinagbigyan.
Maraming salamat po. Sige, Abby, ikaw naman.
Nakarelate din ako dun sa pagbigyan. Like, palagi talaga, kailangan mo siyang pagbigyan. Kasi sa kapatid ko naman, madalas siyang magka-episode. So, yung immediate naming solution for that is like chips. That's very bad. So yeah, dapat in regulation. But at least it helps him calm down. So yeah, chips and other kinds of food like pizza. He loves pizza. And in relation to that, we also try to celebrate the little things, like in small milestones. Like last week, it was the anniversary of us moving into our house. So yeah, we celebrated that with more food. So at least parang na-excite siya kahit nasa loob lang siya ng bahay. And another thing we do is we go to road trips. As in, kahit hindi kami lumalabas ng kotse, we're just there on the road, looking through different sceneries around Rizal. So yeah, that really helps him kasi ayun nga, he's usually just at home looking through a screen, just playing. So that's very helpful because he avoids looking through his phone that time. And then I guess overall rin, definitely patience. Because for my younger brother naman, he would have episodes sometimes, usually before class or during class, online classes. So it's very difficult. Like I couldn't recite. I have to be muted or like turn off my video. So you have to really be patient and then talk to them with empathetic listening. Kasi for my brother, he hates it when you give advice like all the time. I guess us as a generation, medyo, I think we don't like that too. Dapat you should be an active listener. So ayun, kasi even though you're an active listener, you have to be patient talaga because he would repeat like the same thing each day. Like for me, each day niyang sinasabi na, oh, I want to go out na, or bakit ako ganito ate, or stuff like that. And then you just have to really listen and be there as a sister or like as a sibling. Ayaw niya na yung parang mukha kang parent. So yeah, you have to be like a friendly sibling para they can be open to you. And another thing with being patient for my brother, kasi he's very rigid. Like what he sees the world as like black and white. So he hates it when you give like figures of speech. Parang kunyari, if I say like, oh, parang gutom na ako, I want to eat like a whole kalabaw. And then he's gonna say, oh, how do you do that? Ganon. So yeah, really, really avoid that and then be patient. Kasi after that, you would give like a long discussion on how like your mouth cannot fit like a whole cow, ganun. So yeah, we have to be very patient. And then another thing that's very important rin as a form of support is like hanging out with him. Well, it depends on the love language, but my brother kasi I think he's quality time. So like at night I would always be with him in his room, like watching something he likes, like YouTube and Minecraft. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing your very wholesome moments with your brother. And yes, thank you so much, Abby.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing. Really nice to hear how both of you support each of your family members, and especially since we're in pandemic, I think it's really important to get to know them and know what they like, know what they don't like, and know their personality so that we can give better support and become a safer space for them. So thank you for that. So along with this, are there any misconceptions you'd like to address when it comes to being a caregiver? Or ano po yung mga narinig niyong maling ideya or nakikita na tungkol sa mga pag-aalaga ng mga PWD na maaari niyo pong pag-usapan o ibahagi?
Sa akin, wala naman ako naririnig ng mali sa mga PWD. Kasi sa mga neighbor namin, pag nakikita nila yung kapatid ko, kinakausap nila, tinuturuan din nila ng mga nararapat para sa kanya. Pero hindi ba yung ibang pinagtatawanan ng ibang PWD. Pero sila, hindi. Inaano rin nila na as normal yung kapatid ko. Yung mga kapitbahay namin mga bata, nagiging playmate niya at nakiki-join siya sa mga bata doon sa amin, sa lugar namin. Kaya hindi siya na binibigyan ng hindi nila tinitignan ng kanyang pagka PWD. Minamahal din siya ng mga kapitbahay.
Para sa akin naman, misconceptions as a caregiver, parang wala rin akong alam. I guess at first glance, pag caregiver, I guess you have to be skilled at a certain extent. But I guess caregiver applies to the whole support system of the PWD. So yes, yun lang naman.
Alright, thank you again for what you shared. And with that naman, would you have any words of encouragement then for people like you then have relatives, have sisters, have siblings, or even parents or cousins not have disabilities then? Like, do you have any words of encouragement for them? Anything that you would like to say to them? Things that you would wanted to tell yourself also like early on in.
Okay. So, yes, what I would want to tell earlier me then is to be kind to yourself, definitely. Because in the early quarantine, you would really have like episodes every day. And so I couldn't really like focus in school. And then I was very like divided, like should I go to my brother or should I go to my school? Because school is also important. So yeah, be kind to yourself. And if you can't, like if you're having like internal struggles, you can always share that to your other people in the support system. So yeah, and also very important trend, you don't need to carry the burden alone. And I'm sure you're already doing great. Like the pandemic is already hard as it is. So yeah, just be kind to yourself and don't hesitate to reach out also to anyone you trust.
Thank you, Abby. Kayo po, Lynn, meron po kayo masasabi sa mga nakikinig din na may mga kapatid din na may kapansanan o may mga relatives or siblings din na with disabilities po? Wala, okay lang naman po. We can move to the next question then.
Thank you for that. So with this, being kinder to yourself, especially as someone who is a support system for your little brother. So now, do you have any advice on what helps you become a better support system for your relatives? And Ma'am Lynn, bukod po sa advice na meron po ba kayong gustong ibahagi na advice o payo sa mga ibang caregivers kung paano po sila magiging mas mabuting support system para sa mga kapamilya nila?
Dapat pakita natin ang pagmamahal natin sa mga katulad nila na hindi natin sila dapat baliwalain at lagi natin silang tutulungan sa kanilang mga pangangailangan at huwag natin silang babayaan. Sila rin naman kahit mga PWD sila, nakakatulong din naman sila sa amin para hindi sila nagiging, ano ba yun, hindi sila nagiging pabigat sa pamilya. Kaya kung ano man yung mga nakikita nilang gawain namin sa loob ng pamamahay namin, ginagawa rin nila yun. Kasi nga, naituro na rin namin sa kanila ang nararapat para marunong sila sa lahat ng bagay. At mahalin natin sila, huwag natin sila pababayaan. Yun lang.
Salamat po. Okay, Abby.
Yes, I agree. As in, love talaga, man. Because sometimes you might start to hate them at some point. Kasi nga, isa talaga siyang malaking adjustment eh. So you have to always remind yourself to love them and that they're your family. And aside from that, advice then to become a better support system is you have to have your own support system too. Kasi medyo mabigat siyang bagay and it must be difficult doing it alone. So you should have a good support system also. And then another thing is to take note of your relatives' triggers and love language. Like for my brother, ayun nga, he hates figures of speech. So don't ever say figures of speech in front of him. Yeah. And then another trigger for him is like when we treat him like a baby. So yeah, he really hates that. So also avoid doing that. And then another advice is to be open to your family or to the support system of that PWD. Since yeah, for my family, we had to really adjust, like a full adjustment. Like my mom retired, I adjusted my IPS. Then my sister, naging yun na rin yung thesis niya. You have to be very open about it because when before I think we grew accustomed to just giving advices like to one another. Parang kunyari when my brother would say na, oh, I'm very tired from school, and then we'll tell him, then sleep, then rest. That's like very wrong. You have to like just listen, be kind. Kahit di ko bigyan advice, just be there for them. So yeah, adjustment, be open, and then yeah, also love language. Know that very well because that's how they learn that we love them. So yeah, that's all for me.
Thank you so much for that. I think it's really important for us to take note that, we should really love them, and we should also remember that we're not alone in being a support system, and that each person is different, each disability is different, and we can always find ways to adjust with the help of other people in order for us to be a better support system for them.
All right, yes. Mabubuting mga kapatid, mga guest speakers natin today. And yun nga, pagmamahal, hindi lang sa kanila at sa sarili mo rin. And wag din pabayaan. So, we did say na swerte sila sa inyo, but as much as they are lucky to have you, you're also lucky to have them. And I know you guys feel that naman din yung mga moments, yung memories that you shared today. So thank you so much also for being comfortable with sharing all of those things. And thank you for being open to sharing everything and all the insights today. So Thank you again, Lynn and Abby. And that's a wrap for Speak Out 2021's very first episode. So we would like to thank our guest speakers, Abby and Lynn, for taking the time to be here with us today and sharing your stories to help spread the value of inclusivity with our audience. So we hope that you were able to enjoy your time speaking in this podcast because we really loved having you here with us and all the insights that we have gained from you both then. So likewise, we hope that everything and everyone tuning in right now was able to learn something from the discussion.
Make sure to catch your next episodes by following Ateneo Speed on their social media platforms at Ateneo Speed for Facebook and Twitter and at Ateneo Speed _ for Instagram. Moreover, we are simultaneously having another project called Spinoff, which you can take a look at by following their FB page at speed.spectrum. Spinoff is a project that aims to empower PWD-owned businesses, and we would love it if you guys can check it out and support us well for this Christmas season.
And yeah, that's it from us. We are your hosts, Aki and Nicole, and we look forward to seeing you guys again next week for a second episode. So happy dinner also to Abby and Lynn and everyone listening in today. So
goodbye and thanks for tuning in, everyone. And thank you for our speakers today. We appreciate you a lot. So we hope you have a great rest of the evening.